been staring at a screen for what feels like hours and my eyes, they needed a break. So we've come outside. Welcome back to another video. This week, you're going to join me in a week of creates. Kind of like what I eat in a week, what I wear in a week. That's not really my vibe. My vibe, as you can tell, look at my outfit. My vibe is creating, so we're going to create together. We've got a variety of things on the list this week, both things to make money wise and things just for my fun wise, and just things for me personally, like some things for our wedding. Very exciting. Anyway, this is just a quick walk. I'm carrying around these like a handbag, like I tend to do nowadays. Might put on a podcast, and then we're going to go back, and we're going to start with what I've already teased. We're going to start with doing some things for our wedding. Anyway, we're going to have a great week, so come along. I'm going to share the fit because it's fun. We've got my favourite puffer. It was sunny yesterday, and I was walking around in a vest top. Now we're back in the puffer. Don't we love March? My very worn out trackies that I've had for years, I used to teach in them, and my running shoes. My running shoes were just the first pair of shoes because I went for a run this morning. What makes this better is when this jumper comes out like this. Anyway, what is that bird in the sky? That looks like a goose. I've just realised I actually need to draw it out first before I paint. Now we're ready for some paint. That would be good. The first part of my first test is going well so far. I will say it looks a lot better further away than up close. I feel I would like this to be more of a pattern rather than just random, and also to build up from white, adding in more red rather than I was doing that and then I was adding in brown. And I think I just need to build up rather than try and add on. That's the dishwasher. I'm going to do a little bit more and try and do these stars. First draft is complete. I'm happy with it, but also this is not what it's going to look like. For me, it's a bit mushy. I think I just need to choose my colours, use those colours, and have just a bit more clarity. But I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't have done the test, and I am someone that wants it to be perfect straight away. I will say I did. The one I just gave up. Also, they can't be that small. I think I prefer the 4. I think I might do the 4. I think we just need to go a bit simpler. I love painting. Every time I sit down and do this, and I'm like, oh, this is actually really calming and really relaxing. Let's remember to do this more often. First creative task for the day today is to start editing my video for this upcoming Sunday. To tell you the truth, I would really like to be continuing what I was doing yesterday, or maybe even start something else. And if you can relate to this, starting loads of projects and not finishing them and doing a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of this, I've learnt some things, because for me, I'm getting a lot better at this, and that is prioritizing your creative projects. Because the thing is when you're a creative person, you have a lot of ideas, you want to start a lot of things, but then not a lot of things get finished, and then we end up in this cycle of I can't do anything, but it's because we haven't finished creating, because we've started a lot of other things. If this is you, you completely understand what I'm saying. And with my projects, as I like to call them, I have a mixture of recurring projects and one-off projects. For example, YouTube videos, I do one every Sunday. This month I would like to add in a few more, but that's recurring. It's a recurring thing where I have a deadline every single week. I will say I'm wanting to get better and making sure my video is edited and ready before Saturday when I need to upload it. But it's a work in progress. It's Wednesday today, so we're making progress already. And then for one-off projects, they kind of go into A and B. A being ones where I'm given a deadline and we're working towards that. And B, the ones where it's fully reliant on myself. I have to give myself my own deadline. I will say for what we were working on yesterday, we kind of have a deadline because, you know, wedding, but also don't have an exact date. So maybe we need to find a little bit of clarity on that. But anyway, my goal is maybe within the next hour, I can rough cut my video. I go through phases of what stage of an editing process I enjoy more. At the minute, I'm in my don't really enjoy rough cutting as much, prefer the next stage, which we'll talk through. It changes. I never really know how long rough cutting a video is going to take. It depends obviously on the video and how much footage I have, whereas my stage 2 I can kind of work out a bit better because I can see roughly how long the video is. Let's get into this. Give myself an hour and then maybe I will have time to do a bit of painting before I have to leave. With clips that I know are going to be muted, at this stage I just drag them all in, take the audio off, and then leave them there. And then I'll rearrange when I add in the music later, because I like to, as a dancer, I've got to cut to the beat, I've got to cut to the music. So as another side note, I've gone back to editing on not on Final Cut, I've gone left Final Cut and I've come back to CapCut. I don't know how I feel about my editing. What is this? Software? My editing software at the minute. Because I used to be a Final Cut user and then I never had it on this laptop. I got it back and then I was like, wait, everything like I have to create or download, and whereas CapCut just everything's there. But you obviously pay a recurring subscription for CapCut, but Final Cut you just pay one price. So if you have an editing software recommendation, let me know why it's your favourite, because I don't really know if this is the one for me, but for now, it's great. I reached the end of my rough cut and that only took 35 minutes. It's a 16.41 second video so far, so I stayed pretty focused. It's because my phone stayed in the tripod the whole time. Maybe I need to do this more often. As you can tell by the lighting adjustment and the costume change, it's a lot later. We're going back to wedding illustration. This is a pure example of how just because when you do it the first time it's not what you wanted and it's not good, and you keep going, this is a lot better than this. I'm just going to do another paint test and then I feel that I'm probably ready to do the real thing. But we'll see. I've started watching a program called This Is Us because I'm very obsessed with Paradise. And This Is Us was written by the same person and has Sterling, I think it's Sterling Brown, but also no. I was going to say Sterling Knight, but I think that's Sterling Knight. It's that guy on Disney Channel. I don't know if that was his character or the actor that played him. I feel like it was a character. Anyway, it's got the guy that played Xavier in Paradise in this. and I'm obsessed. So I'm only on episode 1, and only halfway through, but enjoying so far. Let's get the paints out. I've also got What Does the Fox Say stuck in my head. What does the fox say stuck in my head, which if you forgot that song existed, you're welcome. I have just realised that if I get my paints out, I'm not really doing that much painting for it to be worth it. So I think I might do a little bit more of a test on another thing, maybe. Very aware of the time because I really want to read and maybe try and finish my book. But this is what I meant by the process. This was my original just map out, which I'm not gonna lie, maybe that looks the best. I don't know. This was my first paint try. It's from far away and blurry, lovely. From up close, not so lovely. Then I thought, okay, let's just practice the like areas of light and dark that we want on these stars. Then I drew this very wrong. I drew these once first when I needed to do these. Anyway, hide. And then I was like, oh, I love this outline. Let's repeat, but with the colour pencils. Great, love. And then this is ready for my paint. Then again, I was like, I'd like the curtain to have a bit more of a pattern rather than it's just kind of random. I was like, okay, this could maybe work, but I don't know if it's really giving curtain, curtain. So we're gonna try this kind of vibe on the paint. We'll see. Like I said, I'm very aware of time. It is 9:30. I don't want to have a good probably hour and a half read. So maybe I just take a section of one. Or do I just sacrifice the reading time? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see by doing, not by thinking. This is a good piece of advice. I need to hear it. I'm not gonna lie, this setup is really giving at school. And I'm here for it. All about things for the inner child. I've started painting this already. Don't really like that, but we're gonna keep going. It's at this point that I've remembered I'm meant to be doing the colour palette colours, not the realistic colours. But again, we're gonna keep going. Okay, I've finished-ish my first draft. Do I hate it? I would say that I have perfectionistic tendencies. Take from that what you will. And I'm just going to share what went through my brain and how we've moved through it. Because I look at it and I go, this is awful. This is awful. It's rushed. I haven't blended properly. The bits that are in detail, I've not added detail. I've just, But then I check myself and I go, okay, is this the final thing? No. Is this just a test because I'm playing around with placement? That's not the technical word, but who needs a technical word, eh? I was just playing around with the scale. Playing around a little bit with the colour. We've already discussed that. I went off what I wanted to do anyway. It doesn't have to be the final thing because it's not. So without further ado, oh God, I'll just kind of show you. I'll show you from far away because it always looks better far away, doesn't it? This still needs to be bigger for me. I thought that in my first pencil draft. I kind of shifted, I don't know if you can see this, shifted so the diving board was bigger, which I do prefer. I need to find a way to better get the trees in so they don't just look random. But I don't think I'm too far off. So even though I don't like it, it doesn't matter if I like it. I feel like that's in the book The Artist's Way. That you don't need to like your own art. Is that in there? I don't know. I read it a year ago. It's a good book. If you haven't heard of it, I recommend. Anyway, it's, what's the time? 11:20. 2 hours later. I've watched, what episode am I on? I've nearly watched episode 3 of This Is Us, and I'm hooked. So already recommending that. I need to take my makeup off. We'll come back to this tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. We are up and out because I'm going to run a 5k. That's how we're going to start the day. We're not going to talk too much because it's very windy and I feel like the audio is not going to be good. I will say I am wearing a hat because I desperately need to wash my hair. Trying to do this all with one hand. It's just not happening. Also, silly me, it's not even on this side. It's on the other side. Great. I've just got back from rehearsals. It's sunny. But as I said earlier when I went on my run, it's so windy. I'd love to stay outside right now, but not going to happen. Not going to happen. Because it is cold. I really fancy hot cross bun. Did you know they don't have hot cross buns in France? Yeah, so I've got 3 bags. But only three in each, 9 hot cross buns to last me till I go home in April. And as someone that loves hot cross buns, that's upsetting, but it's okay. It's okay. I need to finish what I was doing earlier, which was editing pictures for a client, which is why I didn't show you the actual pictures because none of my pictures to show, but I need to finish that, but I just really fancy having a little bit of a draw, having a cup of tea and a hot cross bun, and watching some more This Is Us, and then we'll come back to the pictures later, is the plan for the evening. I feel like with this I haven't been able to get the perspective right, so I thought I would just trace to see, and I actually found a different angle that I have of the same diving board, which I thought might be easier, but I do feel I prefer that one. Yeah, I like my original angle, but with these, what was the word I literally just used? The word I literally just used was perspective? Angles? I literally just said it, so you know what it is. I don't know. Also, just to say, I feel like what I did yesterday, now I've come back to it, it looks like a 10-year-old has painted it. It's okay. Different day, but sat in the same place. My makeshift desk. We didn't really catch up after yesterday evening, so I managed to I managed to paint one of my things that I drew. I'm very happy with this, how this test has gone. The only part I feel unsure of is the brown windows. Oh, something just fell out. I'm going to test now. I bought this white gel pen this week for my colouring books. And don't get me wrong, I really want to sit and colour, but I also really want to do this. How do we decide when we have so many hobbies which one to do? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to see if adding this just brings the brown windows a bit more together. My aim is for everything to be in this kind of colour scheme. So, how are we doing for time? 5:10. The thing is when I get my paints out, they're out. you know. And also, if I start watching This Is Us again, I'm not gonna want to stop. What to do, what to do. It's interesting because when I first brainstormed for this video, I had a list of different creative projects that I wanted to do this week. And it's mainly been painting these testers for my wedding and then a bit of editing, a bit of client stuff. And like, I do want to do these other things, but also I feel like I'm in the project now, and this is definitely something I've struggled with. I think we already spoke about this, about knowing which one I fancy. Something that I think is very underestimated is the power of momentum. That when you build into something, especially when you're creating something, you have an idea. If you have no momentum, it's just going to sit as an idea. Whereas when you put a bit into it and a bit into it and a bit into, that's when it starts rolling, you know? And then you don't want to stop. That's the other creative problem, isn't it? I would definitely like to work a little bit more on my video, my upload for Sunday today. Because otherwise we're going to get to the point where I have to do it all day Saturday. In this moment, I'm not sat on my makeshift desk. We're sat here. Happy Saturday, everyone. I've just finished editing my video that's being uploaded tomorrow, which is excellent because it's only 11:30. So now I just need to make the thumbnail, sort out all the description, all that other stuff, and ready for me to upload today when I'm at the cabaret in order for it to upload tomorrow. And you would have already seen it, so if you haven't, check it out. It's a vlog from when Alex and I went to Paris for the day. We didn't really chat over what I finished doing yesterday. I feel I'm pretty much there with the drafts. There's a few small things that I just want to practice out, but we're almost there. So just as a recap, we started the week with this, just a pencil outline. And we've progressed some of them like that, not so proud of. And we've progressed a bit further. So to recap on what we did yesterday, I filled this kind of colourway. Again, don't look at the detail, just the colours is what I would prefer over this colourway. I painted the sky, and I feel I prefer how I did this one because this all needs to be continuous. I think I mentioned this before. This palm tree is one of my greatest successes of the week. I just feel with this one I'm not 100% on the composition. That's the only one that, but I feel the next time I draw it, it will be there. So we're going to park this project for the rest of the week because I have a lot to do today. I have a show and I'm actually going to Switzerland tomorrow. So I also need to pack and I have many another thing to do. But as I said before, I've definitely been the person that starts many things and doesn't finish them. I've really worked on changing that, and it's not finished, I'm not there. But the feeling of having an idea and bringing it to life and that process, and then seeing how just something that you've imagined in your head then comes to life on paper, or comes to life in a story, comes to life in a piece of choreography, no matter what it is one of my greatest thrills, I'm not gonna lie. So, what's the time? I'm watching Formula 1 but rerun at 12. I think it's at 12. Now I'm thinking, was it 11? No, it's definitely 12. I still need to finish some photo editing and video client editing. Sort out the YouTube. And then who knows, maybe we'll have time for one more project. I have a few hours before I need to go to work. And I feel we're just going to end this video off here because anything else I need to do, I can't really show you. So then that's not really interesting, is it? This was kind of this is a bit of a different format to what I've normally done. I feel, before I speak, let me know in the comments, what do you think of this format? Do you enjoy it? Did you enjoy kind of like a vlog but with a different centered part? My expectation was I was going to create more different things. And yeah, I keep saying this, I love to say this, every week is different, every day is different. So another video, maybe we'd create more, but maybe it's not about creating more. I'm kind of thinking maybe this is a better format for a month, because creating things from scratch don't really take a week. Sometimes they do, but you know, for the scale of what I would like to create, it's not just going to happen in a week. But do you like seeing half the process and then you can come back for another episode? I am going to do one of these again in a few weeks' time, still in a week, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, this is very chatty. I've spoken a lot in this video. Yeah. But as always, let me know what you think. Let me know what are you creating at the moment. And as always, I hope you're having an incredible day wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Until then. I love doing this at the end of videos, don't I? Okay.